Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Younghun Jung, not Jung. Actually, on the participants list, I found 4 Jung, and 2 Korean and 2 Austrian on the list. And I'm working for the Ministry of Knowledge Economy. Knowledge Economy is the largest ministry in Korea. It's a government body. We actually are responsible for commerce, industry, energy, telecommunication, and postal service. So we're a huge ministry. Today, I'm going to, focus my presentation on the facts, of Northeast Asia. Actually, Asia means Northeast Asia, Southeast Asia, Southwest Asia. West Asia. But I'll probably focus on China, Korea, and Japan on the electricity sector, and then implications for the smart grid. I think, as you see here, Korea, Japan, China has a big difference in terms of size. And Japan and Korea are becoming a mature economy, so their sort of consumption is very stable and not growing very fast. And Korea has a power generation capacity about 65 gigawatts, while Japan has roughly about 200 gigawatts of power generation capacity. And whereas China is now having about 600 gigawatts and more. China actually built in 2006, 2007, and 2008. They built 100 gigawatts each year. They added 100 gigawatts of power capacity each year since 2006 up until 2008. And 100 gigawatt is a huge capacity, and they use their own technologies and equipment in China. And if you look at the power generation mix, China is mostly from coal, and Korea and Japan has some divide between coal and nuclear and natural gas. And Korea heavily rely on coal, just like China, and China's share is about 80% of coal. So they are producing and also importing a lot of coal, and their consumption is about, I think, about 2 billion ton a year. And Japan also rely heavily on coal. And by the way, I just want to mention, in case of China, they are the net importer of coal, oil, and gas. They have become a net importer since the middle of 1990s. And also Japan is the importer of all sources. About their sort of import dependency is about 98%. Korea is 99%. So it's about the same. We import all our energy from outside. And this is a outlook. China is still growing, and I traveled extensively in China for many years. And you see that still there are, in the western region of China, many parts are not well developed yet, and they are still on the very fast pace of economic development. So we will probably see, the robust growth in energy demand in China for next couple of decades at least. So a lot of projections were made on China, and it's always, like skyrocketing sort of, the graph. While Japan has a very mature sort of economy, and their population is not growing, so their level of sort of energy consumption will be very stable. But nevertheless, the electricity consumption will increase slightly at a faster pace than other resources, other energy sources, because the Japan is getting a aged society. Aging is a big problem, and they try to advocate more the electricity consumption than other sources because it's safer. And Korea is also, the energy consumption is growing, but at a decreasing rate compared to the previous decade. But electricity consumption is growing very fast because of the income effect. Many households are buying, appliances. Also, most Korean households now, 2 refrigerators, 1 refrigerator for the ordinary sort of, food, and second refrigerator for kimchi. It's like a wine refrigerator for French. And we have, actually, in my house, we have two big refrigerators, one for kimchi, for kimchi. And why? What really drives the demand, power demand or energy demand in China? This is a picture taken in 1990 in China. Actually, I traveled this area. This is not far from Beijing, not far from the center of Beijing. And in 1990, many people were on bikes. You see the, huge number of bikes every day. And the same place, 2006, you don't see many bikes. Okay, this is also an old picture. Probably you will see more bigger buildings and taller buildings in China on the same street. This is taken in Beijing. Okay, so their energy consumption, and people are moving from the west to east. And once you move from the rural areas to the urban areas, your energy consumption double and usually triple. Because in rural China, you have only one light bulb in a house, okay? But once you move into urban setting, urban cities, flats or houses, you have to have, refrigerators and also air conditioners. And I took this picture myself in 2007. I was conducting a study in China. This is the middle class, the apartment in Beijing. You see how many, some households has 2 very inefficient air conditioner. In fact, in 2005 in Shanghai, they had a blackout, major blackout in Shanghai, and then half of the total incremental demand of electricity consumption that year in Shanghai came from the air conditioner. Normally, when your income grows, okay, the first thing you buy is TV sets. Second is air conditioner. Third is passenger vehicles, automobiles. And in many parts of China, East Coast in particular, their income reaches, 10,000, 20,000, dollars per year per person. So in these areas, they are buying the electric appliances in massive scale. And also, they are producing domestically. So the cost of this price of appliances are very cheap in China, compared to their income level. So this is like, spreading like a brush fire, in the States. Not in the States, sorry. I mean, it's spreading from the east to the west. So this actually demonstrates, the future, the likelihood of the future energy demand growth in China. Okay, we're now going to see this one. This is a map of China, this power grid in China. Okay. This one, okay. I want to show this map because even though they have a grid, some of them are on the sort of steel construction, they are building a lot of grids now. And the sort of message here is that, most of them are relying on coal, okay? And coal is produced in this region, mostly, northern part. Shanxi, they call Shanxi, and then Inner Mongolia. But their major sort of consumption of energy is in this area, Guangdong area. Okay, this is the California of the United States. All the manufacturing is done in Guangdong, so they have to transport. So they not only consume a lot of energy, but also they consume energy for the energy transportation. They are now thinking about, because they have to expand their railway system, they are now planning to expand the marine transportation of coal from the northern part to the southern part of China. And they're also importing a lot of coal from Australia and Indonesia, because it's closer to that region.